Some rainy conditions may hamper your travel later on today as we're looking at interstate traffic right now on I-81 coming into the Smoky Mountains, also on I-40, where there are still some slowdowns near the border. We had a rock slide there not too long ago. And on the trails, though, we're doing pretty good, except for Trillium Gap Trail. That's going to be closed all the way through November 15th, except for weekends. And that's also going to affect your access to Grotto Falls if you're hiking. And it's a nice day to, always nice to do some hiking. 407, especially later on in the afternoon, we're going to be having some slowdowns there, but pretty typical for a summer day in the Smoky Mountains. I'm Brad Lovett. That's Mountain Fun Live Traffic.
Parrot Mountain. This attraction has it all, whether you're 2 years old or 90 years young, with hundreds of beautiful tropical birds and thousands of flowers, plants, and trees. Folks who visited our park have said, "I've never seen this many birds in one place. This must be what the Garden of Eden was like. The most beautiful and peaceful place I have ever been. These gardens rival the best. The best value in the Smokies. You'll want to visit Parrot Mountain and Gardens. Call or visit us online. We'll see you there."
Thank you for watching Morning in the Mountains this Tuesday on the Mountain Fun Life channel. I'm Frank Murphy here with Robert Ownby, Jim Johnson, and Brad Lovett. Let's take a look at Smoky Mountain News headlines with Brad.
Good morning. Here's what you need to know today. Great Smoky Mountains National Park is celebrating our friends in the city of Cosby this weekend. In fact, all summer long on Fridays. It's a program called Celebrating Cosby. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. It happens every Friday night through August 2nd at the Cosby Campground Amphitheater. A combination of storytellers, musicians, quilters, and more will be on hand to entertain and educate. The program starts at 7 p.m. each Friday, and the rain location will be in the picnic pavilion. The largest supply of RMS Titanic life jackets is coming to Titanic Museum attraction in Pigeon Forge in July. 6 of the 12 remaining life jackets, and that's all that were left out of those 3,000, will be on display starting July 1st all the way through December. Now we know bears are everywhere here in the Smoky Mountains, and they sometimes even find their way to the cities. They're indeed everywhere, and we even found one in East Knoxville last week at a park. Yearling just decided to spend some time in Morningside Park, and well, he was removed safely, tranquilized, caught, and safely removed to a more rural area. And of course, you're reminded to keep trash in a bear-proof container and keep your distance if you see a bear. Also, a timely reminder for folks who are visiting Gatlinburg this summer. The free trolley is back. Visitors to Gatlinburg have an additional means to explore the parkway via shuttle route. That's free for the summer. The free specially painted open-air shuttles will operate from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily through August 10th. Extra stops have been established along the special route to bring this number to 40 along the parkway. Approximately 800,000 visitors use Gatlinburg's trolleys every year. That's visitors and locals. That makes it the 5th largest mass transit system in the state. It originated in 1980 with only 6 trolleys, but the fleet has grown to 20-plus trolleys, servicing about 50 miles of trolley routes. Now, even if you're not on the free route, it's still a very good bargain. And we've had more records. We always have records for tourism and visitors here in the Smoky Mountains, and we so much appreciate that. And 11 million visitors, some of the latest counts we've heard, and it especially has been good for Wares Valley. A lot of traffic on Wares Valley Road, and that's been a very positive sign for Wares Valley and everywhere.
A little bit of a real estate boom happening in Wares Valley. You know, someone says, "Where's Wares Valley?" Well, it's that beautiful spot between Pigeon Forge and Cades Cove. And from what I'm hearing from folks in the real estate business, properties are selling very quickly. You know, within a couple of days, they'll get an offer after a listing goes on. As folks are realizing, that's a great place to have their summer, or I guess even a winter cabin, depending on what you do.
It's beautiful up here. It's very beautiful. That's a really nice stretch. I do know somebody who owns a business in that area and really does his work, and you've got this beautiful scenery and beautiful cabins right across the road.
Close to Pigeon Forge, but you also feel in touch with nature there.
It's within 10-15 minute drive.
Yeah.
Depending on traffic.
But it's not as built up, because actually anything about Pigeon Forge, if you just take that 10 minutes and go anywhere, you're going to be in nature.
Exactly. I can remember when Wares Valley was nothing but cattle barns and hay fields and big farm homesteads, you know. And as a kid, you drive through there, and that's all. You look out and you see all these cattle. Well, it used to be the same way here in Pigeon Forge.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
And now we've
somewhat.
got the National Enquirer. We've got all these great new things coming into Pigeon Forge. So that's part of the reason I think why tourism is probably up and setting records. In addition to, of course, the beauty of the Great Smoky Mountains National Park.
We have something for everybody, truly. You have all of the attractions here in Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg, and then you have the National Park, all the acres of the National Park, and just a lot more quiet area. And so there really is something for everybody. So
Thank you.
get out of the car and explore.
Well, thank you, Brad. This is Morning in the Mountains on Mountain Fun Life.
Parrot Mountain. This attraction has it all, whether you're 2 years old or 90 years young, with hundreds of beautiful tropical birds and thousands of flowers, plants, and trees. Folks who visited our park have said, "I've never seen this many birds in one place. This must be what the Garden of Eden was like. The most beautiful and peaceful place I have ever been. These gardens rival the best. The best value in the Smokies. You'll want to visit Parrot Mountain and Gardens. Call or visit us online. We'll see you there."
Right the board.
You're watching Mountain Fun Life. Hi, I'm Frank Murphy. And you've got to have a work-life balance if you want to have fun in the Smoky Mountains. And I'm talking with Joe Morgan, who is a handyman and has Joe's Home Improvement, about all that, because not only are you out here, building beautiful things like our studios here at Mountain Fun Life and our offices, but you also are pretty good at crappie fishing, aren't you?
Decent.
Well, how much fishing do you do in a given week?
In a given week. Well, in the last few weeks, Bob's kept me pretty busy. I've not been able to do any.
You've been building stuff
Probably
for us.
quit biting when it gets hot, but in the spring we do pretty good. We usually catch a limit every 2 or 3
nice.
days. So.
Out on Douglas Lake.
Yes, Douglas Lake.
All right, well, let's talk about Joe Morgan. You have a background in all sorts of construction. I mean, you could build and install just about anything, whether we need it for the cabin or for office space or whatever. So how did you get your start building?
I started 40 some odd years ago, 42 years ago.
That's an even number, by
with
the way.
my-
That'd be 40 some even numbers.
Okay.
Okay.
With my father.
You didn't expect math this early,
but,
I don't think.
I worked for a local construction company for 27 years. Last 14 years I was foreman.
Oh, nice.
There's about nothing I can't do. Or if I can't do it, I can find the folks to get it done for you.
So we're talking carpentry, construction, installing whatever fixtures we need around the cabin, around the place.
Yes, I'm proficient at electrical, plumbing, finishing woodwork.
Now, I've seen the work you've done here in our building, but let's just say, for example, a typical call from somebody who's got a vacation home here in the Smoky Mountains. What kind of work would you do for that?
Well, I've done several. You change the dishwasher, sink problems,
Yeah.
tub problems, electrical. You can change fixtures, plugs, switches.
Just the typical stuff to make your time in the mountains more fun, get everything fixed up. Now, you were telling me that you got to a point in life where you realized, oh man, before you went out on your own, working for a company, you had to find that balance and find time to just say, that's enough. I'm spending too much time working and not enough time living.
I used to work night and day and made plenty of money, but had no time for the family, no time for fun.
Yeah.
And
that changed.
yeah, I don't know. I would say I woke up and I decided one day it's better to spend time with your family.
Yeah.
And have fun, and
Well, yeah.
especially your kids when they're young. You'll never get them back. So.
Oh, amen to that. Well, so you've got family yourself, and
Yes, I have a wife and a daughter. We're all local, born and raised here.
Mm-hmm. And how do you spend time with them when you're not
Well,
fishing and not working?
We all love to camp, and we spend a lot of time on the lake. And
Mm-hmm.
we've got a barnyard full of boats.
All right. So if you're mainly fishing for crappie in the spring, how do you fish the rest of the year?
Well, there's sauger and walleye in the fall, and bass when you can get around the tournaments.
So if I served you a plate of unidentified fish, and it was one of those, it was crappie or sockeye or walleye or bass, you would tell me what one bite. You know what it was?
Well, this may hurt your feelings. I don't care a whole lot for fish to eat. I like to catch them.
And then
I will eat crappie and catfish, and that's about the extent of my fish eating.
And then you
I
let
like
them go.
seafood, but yeah, I wouldn't kill a bass when I used to fish tournaments, and I wouldn't kill a bass for love or money.
Well, even the big Bassmaster tournament.
Yeah, they don't.
They-
They
those-
try not to harm a fish.
Right, they have it all down to the second, where
Yes.
the bass is only out of water for less than a minute
Oh, yeah.
for the weigh-in, and they immediately get them back into a well and get them back to the lake.
Their
as soon
new
as possible.
format, they don't even. They just take them out of the lake and weigh them and put them right back in the water.
Oh yeah. Well, even when they had the big Bassmaster tournament, though, they had to build this stage with a hole in it so they could drop the fish back in the hole, which is
Yep.
where the well
And
was,
send it
and
right
get them
back
back
to the
out.
water, yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I bet you could build something like that.
Sure could.
Or what are some of the projects you're proud of when you talk about building, whether it be a home improvement project or helping someone change their life because maybe you made, like I'm thinking about my mom, when she calls a handyman, she's maybe trying to get the bathroom a little more accessible as she's older.
I have remodeled several bathrooms for elderly people for easier access, do custom showers out of tile.
Yeah.
And I have built them literally from scratch
Yeah.
and just different things.
Yeah.
Try to make a house more accessible. As you get older, you can't reach as high, you can't
Oh, sure.
access everything as well.
Yeah, like a nice, I mean, you can have a utilitarian ramp, or you can have one that looks nice and goes well with the, with the landscaping and is pretty, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what my mom, I'm thinking again about my mom and how she's getting around nowadays, thanks to folks like you and the part of the country where she lives. So Joe Morgan with Home Improvement Services, I noticed you're pretty accessible, and one thing I like, you were telling me that texting is a great way, because, I mean, email can be a pain, calling can be a pain, but anybody can grab a phone and text you.
Well, I have a cell phone I carry on me.
Yeah. Oh, he's got it right there.
And,
So don't text him right now, I'm still talking to him.
It's all right. It won't ring.
Well, I mean, you also have respect for your family, and you turn it off at night.
At
so
night, I
you have
turn it off
business
so I can
hours.
get a little rest.
Yeah.
I mostly during daylight hours, you can get a hold of me. It's 865-228-3440. I have email. It's jmorgan@gmail.com.
Oh, that's easy.
And if you really want to get a hold of me, text me, because most of the time I'm tied up doing something, I can't answer a call right away.
Right, and if you're on a job,
If I'm on a job,
you can't stop and think about the next job. You got to focus on the job you're doing. Because I think about it, if you're having Joe work on your house or your cabin, you don't want him being interrupted by the next one just yet. So you have that same respect, for whoever is after you on the gig. Yeah, exactly. All right, so the number again,
865-228-3440.
Now, what if I just want to go fishing? Can I call that same number?
You can call it. I'll tell you what's biting.
All right, Joe Morgan, Joe's Home Improvements, thank you very much for joining us on Mountain Fun Life. We appreciate you, and thanks for the great work you've done for us here at the studios.
You're welcome.
You're watching Morning in the Mountains, and here I am on set of one of our cooking shows with Leo and Bob. And you guys don't want to miss this. We're here every afternoon cooking up something absolutely delicious. It smells so good, my mouth is watering. And be sure to come and watch us. Here's a clip from one of our shows.
Here, the one that's already jumped in, my lovely wife Leonore, and Mike's lovely wife Elizabeth. And Elizabeth's really the star of the show. She's going to be showing us how to cook some, how do you say it? This is a potato, so it's potato salad.
Una ensalada de papas.
Do what now?
Ensalada de papas.
Okay. Yes, that's sort ensalada. Okay, thank you. Now, if you're watching us from Central America, and we know you are, then if you have any questions to ask of Elizabeth, just text it in. And well, we have two already. But and she'll tell you. So, how do we get started?
All right, so you'll need 2.5 pounds of red potatoes,
Necesitas 2 libras y media de papas rojas.
see,
Okay.
pound of bacon,
Okay. 1 libra de bacon.
okay, and 16 ounces of sour cream and 1 cup of mayo.
16 onzas, que es 1 libra, de crema ácida.
Crema acida? Good Lord.
Sour cream. Sour cream.
Say it country.
Sour. Oh, acida is sour.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Just now, listen. We wanted y'all to know. No, seriously. If you watch this show enough times, you're going to learn to cook. You're going to weigh 500 pounds, and you'll be able to speak fluent Spanish.
Thank you for watching Mountain Fun Life today. My name is Brad Lovett, and I'm here with Robert Ombie.
Again.
We had a really interesting conversation the last time we got together about your books and about some of the most historic names and families here in the Smoky Mountain area, specifically Sevier County. We did talk about your family, the Ombies, and you have a more recent book that just came out about the Ogle family, which is another one of the major families here in Sevier County.
And actually, this is still my family. This is on my mother's side. And we discussed the Ombies side. And the Ombies and Ogles are very prominent in this area. As a matter of fact, if we can get all the Ombies and Ogles to coming on as a viewership to Mountain Fun Life, that will be about the biggest percent of the population
We just need them
of the Smoky Mountains.
We just need them to have Nielsen diaries, and we're all set. No, okay.
Yes, but the Ogle name, the Ogle family. Now this one, first of all, let me say, let me give just a little bit more heritage on the Ombie side. The Ombies go back to the Scottish Highlands. That's an area in the upper part of England. I would say the northwestern sector of England. That now this the Ombies go back actually before Scotland became a part of what we call the British Empire or Britain.
Certainly.
So they were still kind of battling back and forth against one another, you know. They were still enemies. But I'm sure I had relatives, as far as I can tell, in the genealogy that I traced on the Ombies, on both sides of the conflict, to the north, in the Scottish area, and to the south, it was still called the Scottish Highlands. And so that's where that name actually originated. Now, an interesting historical fact that I found on that side of the family is that the Romans, when they went in and began to invade the British Empire or Britain, they could never defeat the Scottish Highlanders. They couldn't beat them, folks. Mountain people are tough people. So the Scottish Highlands, no wonder they wanted to come to the Smoky Mountains, because it probably reminded of the mountains back home. Now, getting back to the Ogle side of the family, any tourist, even as a kid, going through Gatlinburg, being a native, born here in the mountains in this area, I would go by that little log cabin called the Ogle Cabin. There used to be at Pi Beta Phi, and now it's at the Old Visitor Center. And so when we would go by that cabin, I didn't take no thought that much of it being part of my family. But it goes back. It was the first cabin ever built, and then called the White Oak Flats. Now it is called Gatlinburg, of course.
Certainly.
But the Ogle, the historic Ogle cabin, first cabin ever built, if I calculated correctly, Martha Jane Husky Ogle would have been my 5th great-grandmother.
I see.
So and then when I did this book, I did it on the Ogle side of the family. I thought, well, I got one on my father's side, I'll do one on the Ogle side. So if you would like this one also, you can get this. It's available. You get it Barnes & Noble, but I recommend that you go to Amazon and pick it up from Amazon. That's where I'm registered as an author, so sure, I got to send you there first. But anyway, any bookseller around the world, they can get, it's advertised all over everywhere with the major. If it isn't available on the bookseller shelf, they can get it by picking up AmazonAuthor.com and just Google my name, Dr. Robert Freeman Ownby, AmazonAuthor.com, and you will find the listing of the literature that I've done. So I think we're out of time again.
All right, well, it's been a pleasure speaking with you, and we're going to continue this conversation.
Yes, it's always interesting to learn about the history, genealogy behind the mountains here in the East Tennessee, the Great Smoky Mountains. And we thank you for joining us here on Mountain Fun Life. Brad, you're a wonderful host.
Well, thank you very much, and you're watching Mountain Fun Life.
Parrot Mountain. This attraction has it all, whether you're 2 years old or 90 years young, with hundreds of beautiful tropical birds and thousands of flowers, plants, and trees. Folks who visited our park have said, "I've never seen this many birds in one place. This must be what the Garden of Eden was like. The most beautiful and peaceful place I have ever been. These gardens rival the best. The best value in the Smokies. You'll want to visit Parrot Mountain and Gardens. Call or visit us online. We'll see you there."
Right the board.
On the roadways, you're going to find slowdowns in most of the usual spots as we enter 66 at exit 407. Especially this afternoon, we'll be looking for some slowdowns there, pretty much typical. And watch also for some construction on I-40, especially at night, going through the Knoxville area. Now, we also give you trail closures, and Trillium Gap Trail is closed weekdays except for federal holidays all the way through November 15th. I'm Brad Lovett. That's Mountain Fun Life Traffic.
You're watching Morning in the Mountains on the Mountain Fun Life channel. Hi, I'm Frank Murphy here with Robert Ownby, Jim Johnson, and Brad Lovett. And let's take another look at Smoky Mountain News with Brad.
And here's what you need to know this morning. You need to know about the 4th of July because it's coming right up. And if you haven't made your plans, it may be a little late to find a cabin, but there are still some last-minute deals out there. So
and
you'll just have to, and hotels, and
Yes.
you'll have to do some very careful shopping and maybe even get lucky a little bit to find that accommodation. But if you're going to be here, it's a great time to be here because we have your guide to what to do on the 4th of July. And things start out in Gatlinburg, downtown. It's been going on for years. It's the Midnight Parade. And
The first 4th of July parade in the country because it starts at midnight.
right, at 12:01 a.m. and I've been there for several years. My wife and I always make a point to go. It's always a lot of fun seeing everybody, and you'll see the chairs start to be lined up. And one year, actually, my wife and I, a kid walks by and says, "It's so nice to leave those chairs out." Well, it doesn't quite work that way. You have to leave your own chair, but
Get there early. Get there
So
early.
one of the tourists
Yes.
thought that the city of Gatlinburg provided all of those camp chairs.
That's
No.
correct. Yes.
I'm not going to do that.
It would be nice. if-
So they provide the curb,
Yes.
the sidewalk upon which you could sit, but you, like you said, you brought your own chair to the midnight parade.
Yeah, you'll need to do that, absolutely. But it is a lot of fun if you've never been. It's one of those once-in-a-lifetime bucket list things you just have to do,
Yes.
no matter where you live. Be here, if not this year, another year.
Let the kids stay up late. I guess you got to take a nap. I would have to take a long, long nap. I guess.
You have to do that, or they can crash in the car for a little while, and
Yeah.
then be prepared to see the parade. Then, of course, the fun's not by any means over about 1:32 in the morning when the parade finally does get done, and we can all get back to our accommodations. Plenty to do throughout the whole day on the 4th of July, and the Raft Regatta in downtown Gatlinburg. That is a highlight of the 4th of July
These
in
are
the area.
small boats, I guess, small floats of some kind that you set down. Was starting over by the Bible attraction in Gatlinburg, and it floats down the little creek there behind everything.
Yes.
That'd be on River Road.
Is that what it's called? River Road? All right.
River Road, yeah.
I think I got to ask an original born and bred mountain resident. All right, so then you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
What's the attraction I'm trying to think of? The Christ of the Smokies.
Christmas Gardens.
Yes.
Christ Gardens. Yeah.
Christ Gardens.
Yeah.
They
I think
may have
that's where it
changed it since
starts.
I've been up. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, it used to be Christus.
It used to be Christus.
Yes.
Okay. And then floats down like past the aquarium, I think.
It
Yeah.
does
Toward
that.
the aquarium, anyway. All right.
And that's a lot of fun if you've never been to that. And then the fun gets underway, 2 o'clock in Pigeon Forge. We shift some of the action to Pigeon Forge for the Patriot Festival at Patriot Park. And food, there must be food. There must always be food.
Yes.
Must be food.
And it's a good food. And Marty Stewart will be the headliner. Country artist Marty Stewart will be the headliner for the
Nice.
event. And of course, a really nice fireworks display there as well. But plenty for the kids to do, and just a lot of fun. A nice community and visitor event in Pigeon Forge. And fireworks there, also fireworks in Gatlinburg as well. And some
Those are
other
not till 10 p.m. in Gatlinburg, but they're by the Space Needle, right?
Right, that's correct.
Okay.
By the Space Needle in Gatlinburg. And also in Townsend, their fireworks. Dollywood has their nightly fireworks. That will happen there as well. And I've been told that if you stay in just the right cabin, you can see all of them at the same
really?
time.
Now, I'm curious, when you see fireworks in Townsend on the so-called quiet side of the Smokies, do the fireworks make noise?
I think they do. I've actually been.
Oh, all right. They still bang and boom, because, I mean,
I hadn't thought about that.
because that one night, then it's not the quiet side of the Smokies. It's just as loud as everywhere else.
Oh, it's got to have a
Good point.
tremendous
Good point.
echo. to
Yeah.
it.
It's
Probably
slightly
sounds incredible.
noisier side, temporarily noisier side of the
Let
mountain.
me also throw in a plug for where I'll be over in the city of Knoxville. They put on a festival on the 4th, starting at 4 p.m. on July 4th, downtown at World's Fair Park, next to the Sun Sphere. And
Right.
we'll have live entertainment starting at 4 o'clock on the what's called the festival lawn. And then on the performance lawn at 8 p.m., the Knoxville Symphony Orchestra plays patriotic music. And actually, they're still playing when the fireworks begin around 9:30 in Knoxville. And they'll play, Sousa marches during the fireworks stretch. And that's also televised on one of the local channels, the NBC affiliate WBIR channel.
On another network.
Well, I'm just saying, they've had that contract for years. We'll have to get it away from them at some point. All right.
Certainly.
Well, thanks for that 4th of July updates. Do make you plans. It's just over a week away. You're watching Morning in the Mountains on the Mountain Fun Life channel.
Parrot Mountain. This attraction has it all, whether you're 2 years old or 90 years young, with hundreds of beautiful tropical birds and thousands of flowers, plants, and trees. Folks who visited our park have said, "I've never seen this many birds in one place. This must be what the Garden of Eden was like. The most beautiful and peaceful place I have ever been. These gardens rival the best. The best value in the Smokies. You'll want to visit Parrot Mountain and Gardens. Call or visit us online. We'll see you there."
Spread the word.
You're watching Mountain Fun Life. Hi, I'm Frank Murphy, talking about all of the fun things that we will be bringing you from the Smoky Mountains. I'm here with Jim Johnson, who is a longtime friend and also really knowledgeable about what we're going to be doing here on Mountain Fun Life each and every morning, bringing you news, traffic, weather, the stuff you want to get started about the Smokies each morning, but so much more than just that.
Oh, there's so much going on in the Smoky Mountains, folks, that I'm just excited to be part of it. Talk about getting into something that's not in the area. News, live news on the street. We're going to have a truck out there with a couple girls that are going to be doing live interviews on
Savannah
the street.
and Kira, yeah.
Savannah and Kira are going to be doing that. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of cooking shows we're going to be doing.
Every afternoon, we've got cooking shows here on Mountain Fun Life for you to check out some great mountain recipes or even a little bit of spice from Nicaragua, a little bit of everything.
Yes, that's from Joe?
From Bob's wife, Castro Cuisine.
Ooh.
So we've got all that great stuff, but let's think about, when we talk about in the mornings, when you are here visiting the Smokies or planning your trip to the Smokies, you have an opportunity, 9 o'clock in the morning, to flip on Mountain Fun Life and say, okay, well, here's what I need to plan weather-wise. Here's some stuff I can do that's coming up in the days and weeks ahead, some great fun family attractions, whether it be everything from Titanic on one end of town, to Gatlinburg and nightlife on the other end of town.
Right, Ripley's, believe it or not, the aquarium, all the good stuff up in Gatlinburg.
And that's where you'll be out there with the cameras and running.
We'll be shooting
running
stuff
up and
in the
down.
street. I'm telling you, it's going to be wonderful.
Because you've traveled the world shooting video, so you're an expert.
Well, I get an opportunity to go around the world. Yes, it is fun getting out
Yeah.
there, but nothing's more fun than being right here at home in the mountains. It's just a beautiful place to be.
So let's talk about some of your favorite places to shoot video and in the Smokies when you're trying to look for nature, trying to look for nightlife, trying to look for everything.
Cades Cove is always a beautiful place to go. The trails there are wonderful. Get to go walk up the trails and see things that, you get to go back in time. We're talking about going back into the early times when people first started building homes here in the Smoky Mountains.
Because part of our goal on Mountain Fun Life is not only for the first-time visitor, if you're living in Ohio and you're saying, hey, I think I need to go to the Smoky Mountains and check it out, what can I do there? Well, we'll have that, intro-level type stuff for you. But for those of you who come every year, there's still new things opening all the time.
Oh, you could live here.
Yeah,
and
as we do.
With all the things that are going on, I can't tell you how many things I've not been able to experience yet. And I'm really excited about being able to go out and do that.
Well, just in the past few months alone, you got to think about what Dolly has opened the Pirate Show.
Yes.
The National Enquirer has opened their new place. There's big changes and improvements coming to the Smoky Mountain Opry and to the Comedy Barn now that Dolly's company has bought those.
There's a lot of exciting things going on in the area.
Of course, Wildwood Grove at Dollywood.
It's one of the #1 places in America to come visit is here in the Smoky Mountains.
In terms of national parks, it's #1, and then you've got all the great stuff right up and down. In fact, I've heard tell that there are people who come to the Smoky Mountains and never make it into the park.
Oh, that's true. You got go-karts, you got helicopters, there's a skydive place down there where you can jump in and do skydiving inside. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I did that on my honeymoon.
The indoor skydiving?
My wife and I did that on our
This is
honeymoon.
like a big fan and
just blows you right up. It was wonderful. That was 30 years ago, so it's kind of funny, but it's good stuff. Car museums, tons of car museums if you're a car enthusiast.
I know my grandkids like miniature golf. They're all about it.
There must be 100 miniature golf places here. I think if we went miniature golfing every day, we could probably hit every miniature golf course maybe in a year. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe in a year.
And then go back and start over again.
And start right back and do the whole trail one more time.
Of course, also, I love the food that's available in the Smoky Mountains. We have a cooking show each afternoon for you, but also we'll be out visiting some of the fine spots to get pancakes and get trout and get delicious burgers and all the great stuff.
Well,
Steaks.
there's a couple places here that have all-you-can-eat places, all-you-can-eat catfish.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're all-you-can-eaters out there, but we are in the South. There's no calories in Gatlinburg Pigeon Forge, folks. So just eat all you want, right?
Let's talk about Paula Deen, put a little extra butter on that.
Yes.
That's a fun place to eat, is Paula Deen's right there at the island of Pigeon Forge.
Yes, where is it? Right over here. It's not too far from here. There's a nice little walking area where you can see all the little craft stores.
Yeah.
The water.
Yeah, near Patriot Park. I know what you're talking about.
Right,
Yeah.
it's right around the corner here.
Yeah.
That's a
The old
beautiful
mill.
place. The old mill, and you can walk through there. There's all kinds of shops. There's a little clay pottery shop over there we went to. It was a lot of fun.
And I like getting back into the artist village behind Gatlinburg. Where you
Yes.
The
artisans. There's glass blowing, all kinds of trinkets. There's a sword. I love that sword place where you can buy the ninja stars and stuff. It's always fun to go up there. The kids always want to go to let's go to the swords. Let's go to the swords. It's
Oh,
fun
sure.
stuff.
Yeah, so whether you're shopping or just relaxing, we're going to talk about all of those great places to stay, places to eat, everything you need for your Smoky Mountain vacation. You'll be able to find it on Mountain Fun Life, not only when you're watching us online each and every morning, but also we'll be in and out where you need to be. We'll have magazines printed up and directories printed up for you to find all of that information right at your fingertips. So wherever it is you need it, whether you need it on your smartphone or whether you need it in a printed format, we'll have it in all, it's like one-stop shopping, Mountain Fun Life for your vacation needs. Thanks to Jim.
Don't miss out. It's grab the little flyers. We talked about coupons in there that you're going to be able to get. And tear those off, take those in, save you a couple bucks, and that way you can do more fun things.
Exactly. Stretch your vacation dollar even a little further, do more fun activities, whether you're in Kodak, Sevierville, Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, all the way through the Smoky Mountains. And we're not going to ignore, the beautiful quiet side of the Smokies over in Townsend and the Blount County side. That's a lovely place to go, tubing and
You will not be without something to do here in the Smokies. And if you're shoppers and you love shopping, we got the outlet malls here, which are great. Tanger, love that place.
That's right. So keep an eye out for our Smoky Mountain, I guess our Mountain Fun Life Humvee and other vehicles, because they'll be showing you. If you see the Savannah and Kira out in the Humvee, you'll know, oh, there's something going on. I got to go be where they are, because there's a grand opening, there's an activity, there's a new exhibit coming to the Titanic Museum, there's something happening, and that's where they're going to be.
So don't miss out. Join us.
We appreciate your watching Mountain Fun Life. I'm Frank Murphy.
I'm Jim Johnson.
Parrot Mountain. This attraction has it all, whether you're 2 years old or 90 years young, with hundreds of beautiful tropical birds and thousands of flowers, plants, and trees. Folks who visited our park have said, I've never seen this many birds in one place. This must be what the Garden of Eden was like. The most beautiful and peaceful place I have ever been. These gardens rival the best. The best value in the Smokies. You'll want to visit Parrot Mountain and Gardens. Call or visit us online. We'll see you there.
Right the door.
Are watching Morning in the Mountains on the Mountain Fun Life channel. I'm Frank Murphy, taking a look at sports with our main man, Jim Johnson.
Well, today in sports, folks, there's a lot to do in the Smoky Mountains.
Because the actual baseball team is out of town, so we got to stretch.
we got a few days without the Smokies being in town, but they will be returning for their next homestead on the 1st of July through the 3rd. So June 30th through the 3rd of July. And make sure that you set your schedules ahead for that date. A lot of fun at the Smokies. But since the Smokies aren't in town, there's all kinds of other things that you can do in the wilderness up here in the Smoky Mountains. There's a ton of fishing.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't matter, rain or shine, there's always somebody got a pole in the water, catches some fish. It's a wonderful time to come up here for that. And also a lot of golfing in the area. So if you like to golf, there's plenty of wonderful golf courses here in the Smoky Mountains.
So you can fish and golf. I know people who retire here for those two exact same reasons, because all the, in fact, they even had the Bassmaster tournament, the nationwide Bassmaster, the Super Bowl of fishing, was right in East Tennessee back in March. And they don't care about the weather. They're out there, rain, shine, doesn't matter, warm, cold. They want to fish for bass. In fact, some of the guys say that the cold weather was better for bass. I didn't know that. And they're out there catching them. And, of course, in the mountains, you get some beautiful trout.
Oh, Lord.
Whether you let them go or whether you, in fact, I have an idea for a segment. We got to get you out with
get some waders.
Well, I know a guy. From Fightmaster Fly Fishing. And he teaches people how to fly fish. We could send you out with him.
I would do it.
And take a camera along and.
That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
that'd be a lot of fun.
You and the hip waders would be
that would be in the hat, and it would just be life jacket, all that kind of stuff.
But so it's participation sports this week until we wait for the Tennessee Smokies baseball homestand on Sunday.
Yes, and make sure that you come out. Lots of wonderful hiking to do out here, and of course, a lot of wonderful trails that you can do some
biking, all the works.
All the works. So if you're a sports enthusiast, make sure you come out, check us out here in the Smoky Mountains.
Bring your enthusiasm.
Yes, most definitely.
All right, like you've got. All right, well, thank you, Jim Johnson. This is Morning in the Mountains on Mountain Fun Life.
Parrot Mountain. This attraction has it all, whether you're 2 years old or 90 years young, with hundreds of beautiful tropical birds and thousands of flowers, plants, and trees. Folks who visited our park have said, I've never seen this many birds in one place. This must be what the Garden of Eden was like. The most beautiful and peaceful place I have ever been. These gardens rival the best. The best value in the Smokies. You'll want to visit Parrot Mountain and Gardens. Call or visit us online. We'll see you there.
Right the door.
Well, that's another episode of Morning in the Mountains on Mountain Fun Life. Thanks so much, guys, for another informative and entertaining segments. Appreciate you. Brad Lovett, Jim Johnson, Robert Ownby. Do us a favor, won't you? And share this link with your friends. And we'll be back again with another episode of Morning in the Mountains on Mountain Fun Life.